Episode 10. We made it. We haven't been canceled. We made it 10 shows. We haven't been canceled yet. Is that crazy? We're going to talk about the game in a second, but I want to do a shout out to my buddy Dave Bruner, Palmetto Bay guy, Chunks Smoked Fish. He also does Chunks conch salad. So Grant and I were down at Pig Floyd. That's the exclusive place that you can get the conch salad. I do believe you can still get the smoked fish, and he does wahoo, swordfish, dolphin when it's in season at Keg South 104th and US 1. But this guy, so listen, normally conch to me is rubbery unless you really super tenderize it. He tenderizes it 4 separate individual times.
Wow.
And it's awesome. And then the juice, I know you don't drink liquor, but the juice you could actually make as a Bloody Mary or if you could make a fake, like a faux Mary.
That's awesome. Yeah, I love your shirt.
And we got the logo. We got the logo up in the corner up there, and killer shirt, dry fit, fishing shirt. So shout out to Dave. Awesome stuff. You can get it at Pig Floyd 168th and Old Cutler.
Good shout out, man.
That was pretty good. Yeah. And I didn't even get paid for that. I'm hoping maybe for another shirt or maybe like a couple orders of conch salad when I'm done.
A plate of conch salad. That's awesome.
That's it. So yesterday.
Oh, we're going to talk about our undefeated Miami Marlins.
Undisputed. NL East leading Miami Marlins. Pretty sweet. Look, it's still early, but the pitching yesterday was lights out. Bass, Detweiler, forget about Sandy. Sandy came out great, pitched a couple innings. But you had Bass, you had Detweiler, you had Bender come in as a setup guy, and then Morimoto to close it out at the end.
Yep.
And I think they look pretty good. What I really liked was how sharply Starling Marte hit that triple.
Yeah.
That could have been an in the park home run. Which is I think your favorite play in baseball.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah,
I said the other day. Well, most exciting.
And then Aguilar comes out and knocks not him in because Cameron Misner came in and pitch run for Aguilar.
Yeah.
I mean for Starling Marte.
For Starling Marte.
Yeah.
It's interesting because to me, what I watch for is, it's funny seeing, what spring training about, getting ready for the season, hitting your stride at the right moment. But with these pitchers, it was kind of the opposite. Yesterday's outing was the opposite of that, what we saw. We saw a typical first day, get out there, iron out the problems, a lot of men on base, a lot of hits, a lot of hard hit balls. Yesterday,
not so much.
Yeah, it was really the pitching looked like the
legit.
Yeah,
that's our number one guy in Sandy, and then these other guys are definitely going to be coming in on a regular basis to either set up or close. Or do middle relief work for them.
Yeah.
Bass is probably more of a closer.
They were dialed in, and I think that's one of the things that you see in these spring training games is, you're only seeing 2 innings at a time, right? So you're seeing a lot of choppiness with the pitchers coming in, and it's hard mentally to come in. These guys don't have time to dial in themselves, right? They're walking in and doing it, and to be pitching at this level already, it's got to give you some confidence.
Yeah. I wish we were there actually yesterday so we could see that our pitch speed counter works versus the Houston and the Nationals.
Although I got to tell you, I was watching, and you might as well not watch, right?
Because you're watching from center field. You can't, behind the backstop.
So that's what I want to talk about. So it's so interesting. It's like the play by
go MLB.
I think the play by play is great. I was just listening in the background at the office.
Yeah,
but it is interesting because I was playing it on a laptop off the link you sent me from MLB.
Yeah.
And
I'm sorry for sending that now. But it's a bunch of people.
It's so far back. Like I don't understand why can't they put that camera up against the net, I don't understand what they're doing. You can't see anything.
Terrible. I'm sure they got a million complaints after yesterday that they got to change that.
We'll see, because it just to me, with modern technology, there's no, I go to these high school games. And here's these, these high school kids, they show up with a, what's it called? A
GoPro?
A GoPro. And they set it up on a tripod. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. No, that's it.
Yeah. And I got to see the back of that dude's head the whole freaking game. Old man there.
That old man.
Yeah. Yeah. They looked like they were having fun, man. And we're going to be up there this weekend. Let's talk about the tickets thing that you sent me yesterday about single game tickets going on sale Friday to Marlins members, and then what at a certain time?
Noon.
Noon for the
So they announced, it was interesting because I just heard it on the radio, right? And they said they announced on the radio 9 a.m. Miami Marlins members, and then noon the rest general public.
Okay.
Friday.
Okay, so scramble to get some because it's going to be. I mean, opening day is, especially if they kind of keep up the vibe that we got going right now, it's going to be exciting. 9,000 people at Marlins Park.
Yeah, it's gonna be the hot. If the Marlins somehow hit on all cylinders, it would be interesting to see. It becomes a hot ticket toward the end. It will. We'll see.
Am I supposed to play a birthday song? Is today your birthday?
Today's my birthday.
Wow,
51 years old.
Dang, you made it.
My daughter was like,
me by a year, but I turned 51.
My daughter was all upset. She's like, "Mommy, what? We didn't do anything for Daddy." I'm like, "Daddy's had a lot of birthdays. Like, don't."
51 of them.
51 of them. I don't need anything.
Right.
It's going to be interesting to see how. I heard in the context of the MLS, the Major League Soccer, Inter Miami had a big day the other day, like a fan fest or whatever. Meet the new coach, Gary Neville, and all this stuff. And as part of that, they were saying Jorge Mas was talking about what the season was going to look like, and he was talking about the uncertainty of when we're going to have more fans, if at all, this entire season. And I think baseball faces the same thing. Like, what is this going to look like as far as when we have everyone in? If by September, like, we may have people back in.
You mean a full stadium?
Yeah. I don't. I would, depending on the rates. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
with masks on, I don't know.
I think we're going to be all right. I mean, with the 9,000 there's still going to be ticket availability. I don't think it's going to sell out until they start rolling. And people start to get to know these kids and the new guys we got, which is why we're doing this show, really. To introduce the fans to the new guys and introduce the fans to these old vets that we got from other places that are pretty awesome. And we got to see some of that yesterday.
Yep.
So I need to mention this. So I went on the MLB app yesterday to try to get tickets to Saturday, and the only thing available are all those cool zone ones out there, what is that, right center field, and you can only buy packs of 10. So unless you're Amish and you want to bring all your kids, or Mormon, I guess, pretty much you're not going, because that's $500.
It's 500. That's $500.
$500, $50 each, and there's probably some fees involved. So I think in the alternative, and now everybody's going to rush and take our tickets. There are some alternative ticketing apps out there that their tickets available.
So they are breaking up.
Saturday.
So they're breaking up the 10 packs on StubHub and other things.
Well, I don't think they're the 10 packs. I'm talking about tickets, seats down in the.
No, but they're selling 1 or 2 or 4.
No,
they have to sell them as the pod.
Yeah, the whole pod. So
yeah, this would have been a good investment. Who would have known? But a year, whenever it went on sale, to have bought, all the spring training season tickets, I think you would have done.
Oh no, we would have made out like bandits.
You would have made some money.
Yeah, for real. So today, 105 start again against the Cardinals. Pablo Lopez pitching against Adam Wainwright. Should be a pretty good matchup. I love Pablo. He's one of my favorite guys. So they should be good. And then they usually at about 9:45. Just check Twitter, Marlins Twitter, because they'll have the lineup.
They stick it out
there. You guys can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. I think there's probably 50 more of those. But if you go to our website, you can see on Mainline Marlins the latest video, and I'll be posting this one right after the show. And then also Twitter, obviously, Instagram, things like that.
Awesome. And then we're gonna have some. We're gonna get our Mets preview in.
Yep.
With Mike Grabkowski.
Yep. And then I'm trying to get a Latin. So we have a Latin buddy of mine that's a baseball player that played for the Sharks to come in and do a little Latin vibe of what the team's all about.
Awesome. And then
maybe do a little Spanglish for our Spanish awesome. Brothers.
Yeah, that's cool. And then I'm going to bring in James Willoughby. He's a Marlins super fan. Okay. And talk about what his expectations for the season are. So we'll make that happen.
Yeah, and then we got to start working on some other guests via through the Marlins communications guys, so we can get players. And it's going to be Zoom, or we're going to have to record But we do got, Christina's going to come on periodically to tell us what's going on.
Yeah, the fans are demanding more
Yeah.
Christina.
Yeah, because she's awesome. So I think that's it. Episode 10 is in the books. Go Fish. Beat the Cards.
Have a great week.